on. Here we go. Okay. You gotta be quiet when Mama talks, okay? All right, so hey there. So yesterday I talked a little bit about 5 ways to feel calm and prepared in times of stress. And I put the link below. Okay, honey, hold on. And I put the link below if you want to see that. And then over the next couple of days, I'm gonna be talking about how to work well from home, staying mentally healthy and reducing stress, staying physically healthy. Here, put some glasses on. And how to keep your kids laughing and learning. But today, let's talk about 5 ways to create a schedule. If you'd like to do a new puzzle, let's just be a little quieter. Bribery is totally happening.
I do a new puzzle.
Go pick one out. Go pick one out. So let's today talk about 5 tips to create a schedule for success from home in the middle of all of this stuff happening. And why this is so important is when you implement a routine that you can stick to, it is going to make you feel so much better mentally and also be much more productive. And if you're working from home or if you're homeschooling your kids right now, that is so, so important. So let's get in it. So first of all, number 1, let's talk about communication. This is also doubles as my tip today for being a great human being, because first, before we can help people outside of us, we need to help the people in our own household. So that is a couple ideas for that. So one is really communicating with your family about what you need. So for example, I communicated to, right now I don't have my husband here, I have my au pair, who's so amazing, but I communicated that I was like, hey, I need from 2 to 3:30. My meeting ran a little late. So I said, let Luca come up because you know what, done beats perfect. Cover for each other. So create a schedule, and we're going to talk about how to create a schedule and make it visible where everybody can see so that everyone is on the same page and you're all working together as a team. Luca knows teamwork makes the dream work. The biggest thing with communication with all of this is releasing expectations of perfection. Literally done beats perfect. And sometimes it's not going to be done well, and sometimes it's not even going to be done, but just really releasing that and understanding that we're going to continue to improve. Give other people grace. I learned something really great from a coach one time that is pretty much always true of my husband, is anytime someone is maybe not being their best, is ask yourself before you snap back at them, are they hungry, tired, or stressed out? Okay, right now, most people are stressed out. They might be tired, and maybe they're hungry, especially if you're rationing what you're eating. The other is, as far as communication is, this is an ideal time to really communicate about what helps us feel our best. And that's going to go into tip number 2. So tip number 2 is about, this is the best time ever to discover or to really find what are your non-negotiables. So I used to believe that we could have balance. So we could have like exercise and movement, or I guess that's the same thing, exercise and movement and, creative time and impact and all of these things every day in these perfect pie chart quantities. And that reality is, my mentor Kayla Kraft taught me, is balance is kind of BS. So I want to instead help you create a menu of non-negotiables. Think about it like a recipe book. The old type of recipe where you didn't have to measure everything. You'd kind of just put it in according to sight and feel and intuition. So this idea that you come up with a couple of different things that are the ingredients for a great day. Maybe it's movement. Maybe it's quality time with your family. Maybe it's a little bit of self-care. Maybe it's finishing one project around the house or a task at work, meaning for work at home, but make it doable and realistic. I'd say 3 to 5 at the most. Like, give yourself the ability to make it happen. If you give yourself 10 things, even if you finish 7, you're going to feel like you failed. If you give yourself 3 and you get around to 4 or 5, you're going to feel like a rock star. But get the family involved in this. Have your kids draw it out. I am creating, we're creating a schedule. This is my rough draft. I'm going to create the pretty one, and Luca and I are going to draw. Maybe I'll draw and then he'll color it in. Next, number 3, tip 3 is the routine before the routine. You guys have probably heard me talk about morning routines all of the time, about how important morning routines are. Well, guess what? Most of us right now don't have a commute. So the morning routine, this is your opportunity to make it, create it, decide what it is, try it out, tweak it. So the big thing is spend a few minutes meditating. I mean, I am such a fan, and I'm going to link episode 8 to the Becoming You podcast today that really talks about the benefits of meditation and gives you some ideas of how to practice, and even some of my favorite resources and apps for meditation. But when you wake up in the morning, whether you get out of bed or you're not getting out of bed yet, like literally, I mean, I'm sleeping right there. I'm working in my office. Instead of going down the scroll hole of Google coronavirus, maybe let's just meditate for 3 or 5 minutes and say, let's take a breath. Even when you wake up and you're sleepy, like sometimes your thoughts race, especially if you had bad dreams the night before. Second is get dressed. Even if it's in yoga clothes, I am wearing stretch pants, but they're not pajamas. Don't stay in your pajamas. There needs to be a delineation between your sleep time and your sleep wardrobe and your daytime and your day wardrobe. And then remember that for your morning routine, done beats perfect. Yes, I would love to say I'm doing an hour right now. That's 10 minutes of silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and writing, but that's not the reality. So right now, my 10 minutes of done beats perfect is I turn on Abraham Hicks' Miracle Morning Rampage. It's actually 13 minutes long. And I listen to it while I take a shower and I brush my teeth and I just get ready for the day. And then I take my gratitude journal out. Love these. If you could find them, 5-minute gratitude journal. And I go through, and you guys, I'll take a picture of this. I am grateful for 3 things. 3 things that would make today great. Only 3. You don't get extra credit. Only 3. And then daily affirmations. I am. It's my I am statement. And if you really want to finish off the day, you can record at night 3 amazing things that happened today and how could I have made today even better. And that is super helpful and reflective, because typically it's what could have made today better is less television, not drinking alcohol, or going to bed earlier. Or moving my body. So it's basically movement, sleep, taking care of myself, hydrating, and making sure I'm only getting positive things in my mind. But morning routine. Tip number 4 to really creating a schedule for success from home is, speaking of schedules, put everything that is time sensitive into your calendar. A lot of us right now, we're at home. We don't have, maybe we don't have meetings, or we only have a few meetings. So it kind of feels like there's just a big block of time to get done whatever we need to do. And at 9 a.m., it's like we have the whole day in front of us. And that time gets eaten up. And just an analogy is, I remember when I was in school and when I was playing sports, I had a couple of hours of my day that were blocked, and I didn't have a lot of free time, but I was really intentional in that free time about when am I doing my homework, when am I doing whatever other things I want to do, practicing my instrument. But then when I was off sports, when it was a season where I was off sports and I knew I had from 3:30 p.m. when I got home till 9 p.m., I actually got a lot less done, and I felt a lot more rushed because I was wasting my time. So put everything time sensitive into your calendar. Any meetings you have from work, any meetings your spouse or partner or housemate or whoever has, so especially if you have children running around, so that you make sure that you can support them. Again, back to communication. And then use what used to be your commute time to do something enjoyable that's going to raise your state. So if you used to commute for 20 minutes a day from 7:40 to 8 o'clock, use that time to do a dance party, write thank you cards, work on maybe some writing, do gratitudes. Like, there's so many things out there. Do a yoga video. If you never find time to do exercise, there's some great online resources right now, a lot of free stuff that you can move your body. But use that time for something enjoyable to energize yourself before you start your day, whether that's work like for a job, or working for yourself, or working at home. And then, so important, make a modified version of things you're currently restricted from, because it's really easy to go into that lack mindset if we are thinking about, like, I can't go to the gym, I can't meet my friends, I can't. Turn that question around, instead of that, which turns your brain off when you say I can't, to how can I? So it could be like, hey, how can I get in some exercise for my favorite gym? Maybe they're offering free online classes. There's so many currently out there. So turn it around of how can you do that exercise in a modified way. Maybe if it's a social thing, instead of getting together, let's say with your girls group that you get together with once a month, you get together on Zoom or Google Hangouts or WhatsApp or wherever. But there's still ways to do it with a little bit of creativity. Okay. And there's no reason to be late because you're not commuting. You're not having to worry about fighting traffic or fighting parking with traffic. And then include breaks. Okay. This is something I am so bad at. I like book things back to back to back. And I'm like, oh, maybe I might need to go to the bathroom, or, hey, I could go outside for 10 minutes and stretch or unload the dishwasher. So include those breaks for exercise, for movement, for stretching, for personal hygiene. and then stick to your normal meal schedule. So make sure that you're still giving yourself time for, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or if you fast in the mornings, that you're, breaking your fast to the normal time. Put yourself onto a schedule, because a schedule creates consistency. Consistency creates certainty, and certainty helps to eliminate stress. And then tip number 5 is disconnect to connect. A lot of people are spending more time on social media, on, TV, the computer, etc. And don't forget about the people that inhabit your space if you don't live alone. So schedule time with your family. Like for me, it's like, okay, 4:00, everything gets turned off. And from 4 to 5, we're cooking together now. Or maybe before I would get a little extra work. Or maybe it's your pets. It's like, this is our dedicated walk time where you can connect, or on your lunch break where you normally would go grab something, or you would sit in the lunchroom. That's a time to cuddle your kids or your significant other, or maybe have some self-care, or make food with your family. But take this time to put down the phone, put down the social media, and connect with the people that you love. Because I bet you 2 or 3 weeks ago, you're like, I don't have enough time with these people that I absolutely love, right? Because there's so many other things that are taking my time and energy that I have to do. You now have the time, okay? Because we have taken out commuting. We've taken out a lot of the things that we thought were crucial or important, and we found that maybe they aren't now. And it is the opportunity that you have to really do a reset in your life and figure out what changes do you want to keep when things go back to a new normal. So if you'd like to get more of these tips and links and the recordings, and I'll link the different podcast episodes and resources I've talked about, so you don't miss this, or you want to get the videos tomorrow that I'm going to share, go to the bit.ly link that I've included, and stay safe, stay socially distanced, and most of all, understand that the only thing that is constant, the only thing that we know is that change is always, always going to continue to happen.